right, so I convinced the wife to let me put a Corsa Catback exhaust on our 2023 Yukon AT4. Let's see how it goes. All right, we finally got the lower bumper off. Hopefully you already have dual exhaust and you don't have to do this because there's a million fasteners. Not to mention there's 4 rivets up in this bottom back piece here that you have to drill out. So I'll have to add those back in. But there is a lot of fasteners. A lot of them are clips, a lot of them are plastic. You gotta be really careful. We did pretty good, we didn't mess anything up. Then this has that sensor in the back where you put your foot under, it raises the rear hatch. So you gotta be careful of all that stuff too. Not too bad, but definitely I think this is gonna be the hardest part. I think putting the exhaust in is gonna be easier, but we'll see. I just hate messing with plastic. There's too many things that can go wrong, too many things that can break off, but we did good. We're gonna put the new one on now. We're gonna clean this up a little bit, get some alcohol and just kind of clean all the surfaces up just so we're not trapping dirt in between everything. We'll check back in. right, the back end is done. The lower bumper's in. We're still waiting on some other parts, exhaust hangers, the heat shielding in here that protects the spare tire. That side already has it, but this side needs it as well. Yeah, not too bad. Just gotta be really careful with these new bumpers. There's a million clips, lots of things to break off with them. You can see here's the stock exhaust. The Corsas will have dual tips on each side, so it'll be a quad tip. This does have the blackout badges and patches and all that stuff on it, so we got the blacked out tips. It will be a single into a muffler, and then it'll split off into duals. So it's not true dual exhaust system, but I think it'll still sound pretty good. Corsa does a good job of keeping drone out of the way, I think, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think this was the hardest part, so I'm glad to have that done. We'll have a few more days, and hopefully the rest of that stuff will come in, and we'll just start piecing it together. There's the single exhaust. You can see the single tip hanging down. It's just single out, dumped under the bumper. All right, go ahead and start it. That's the stock sound. Rev it. And that's it revving up. Pretty docile. All right, real quick, this is what we're replacing. Single tip going into a single large muffler, and this goes on up here to the stock setup. And we just have two cats and then this crossover pipe that kind of Y's in. So basically from about here back is going to get replaced. Obviously we're going to end up with a second exhaust that comes over here. I have another heat shield that goes into here that bolts into these bolts here, and it'll come over the same way this side does to this side. And of course we still have the cutouts that we put on the lower bumper last time. And we got new parts like a full heat shield that protects the spare tire when you have dual exhaust, and a second exhaust hanger, or the exhaust hangers that come with the dual exhaust setup from the factory. So all that stuff together, we should be able to just bolt this right in. All right, we just got the Corsa exhaust. We kind of opened it up a little bit just to look at it, but Corsa Performance, you can see the part number there is 21128BLK. That's with the 5.3 liter with the rear exit. We wanted that because we already put the lower bumper on, and we want the stock appearance, but really a much better exhaust. All right, we're gonna open it up. Get some of this out of the way. You can see here's the first set of tips. Black, pretty cool. Set that aside here. They packed this pretty well with this expanding foam. I much prefer this over the little peanuts, that's for sure. There's the other tip. Alright, let's make sure these both have Corsa. Yep, okay. There's the muffler. That thing's huge. Looks like the partnership tailpipe. Split the Y pipe. Just gonna kind of set this down here. Another piece. This looks like this is what ties into the factory piece. Has a flex joint in it. Then this big old muffler, which I'm just gonna leave here. And then our clamps. I'm going to look at this a little closer. I'm hoping that once I line this up, I may pull it down and just TIG it rather than have clamps all over the thing. Nothing I hate worse than exhaust that hangs down or bends or moves around. So we'll see what it looks like, and I may just TIG it all up. All right, let's get this car in the air. All right, the exhaust is in. I ended up cutting a little bit on the back side of these so that they would sit in further because I didn't like how far they stuck out of the bumper. I think this looks pretty good. But yeah, I cut probably a 1/2 inch or actually about 5/8 inch off of that, both sides actually. But you can see here it goes routing into the Y pipe. The Y pipe then comes over the axle and then down into the muffler. Now, this kit evidently was for an XL. I didn't realize that I got the wrong part number or whatever. So I ended up having to cut this off, move this in. I cut about 13 inches out of it, almost 14 inches. Re-weld the bracket or the hanger right here. But it looks good. Everything bolts up. I missed a clamp, so I better get that one. But yeah, we'll do a start up here shortly. I gotta put the heat shielding back in to the rear here, spare tire, and then we should be done. All right, it's on. Here you can see the tips. Looks pretty good. Not bad at all. Rev it.